Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Carrie Trusley, and I am proud to serve as the Principal of Student Services here at Delaware Area Career Center. We are very excited to have you here with us today and to welcome all of our new families. So this year, we're thrilled to be accepting one of the largest classes in DACC history. Our incoming class currently stands at 834 students. And that just speaks volumes about the growing demand for career tech education, not just here in Delaware and Franklin counties, but across Central Ohio as well. But even with such a large group of students joining us, you can definitely rest assured that we are committed to maintaining that small school feel that makes DACC so special. So most of our lab programs are capped at 25 students. And these students spend 3 hours a day together, just in that lab all afternoon or all morning, and it allows them to really form kind of the close-knit, supportive learning community. Students at DACC are in very, very capable hands. We are very proud to share that every year, 96 to 98% of our graduates go on to enroll in college or post-secondary education, join the workforce, or enlist in the military, thanks to that strong foundation that they receive through our career tech programs. So on your screen, you'll see the list of topics that we'll be covering today. And we know that this is a lot of new information for you, but our goal is to help you feel more familiar and more confident as a new member of the DACC family. So please know that we are always here to support you and to answer any questions that you may have. All right, so our mission at DACC is to empower, prepare, inspire, and connect students. We empower students to take control of their learning. We prepare them with the skills and the knowledge needed to be successful in whatever post-secondary path that they choose. And we provide meaningful experiences that challenge and inspire students to reach their academic, career, and life goals as well. So, and we help finally, we help students build relationships and a network to connect with our valued partners in higher education and business and industry as well. So all of this supports our vision that through their affiliation with DACC, students' lives will be elevated. So here at DACC, our school counselors work very closely with students, and they provide the support based on the lab program in which students are enrolled. So at this time, each member of our school counseling team is going to take a brief moment to introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm really excited to be here. This is my first year at DACC, but it's my 7th year going into career tech, and I'm really passionate about career tech. And as you can see on the slide, those are the programs that I support. So feel free to reach out, and I am looking forward to meeting your students.
Hello, I'm Allison Cox. I'm one of the 4 school counselors here at DACC. This is my 10th year at DACC. And as Bree said, I love career tech and working with the students and families here at the Career Center. So welcome. We're really excited to have you joining us for next year.
Hi, I'm Holly Mackey. This is my 7th year here at DACC, 14 years as a school counselor. I've absolutely fallen in love with career tech, and the students and the staff that I get to work with here have all been wonderful. So I'm excited to meet you guys here in a couple weeks at Acceptance Celebration, and then meet more of you guys in the fall.
Yeah, and last of the group, Matt Wood, school counselor for 7 years. Same with Holly, 17 years as a school counselor. And as you can all see, so far we all have a passion for what we do here with our students, and provide a lot of great support to get them onto their next steps. So we look forward to really working with your students and getting to know you and being part of your journey.
All right, now we're going to hear from Bree.
So here at DACC, we as school counselors carry out many of the same responsibilities as those in traditional high schools, but with the unique lens of career technical education. So we're regularly in classrooms, we provide support to both students and staff members, and we try our best to always be available and accessible to meet with students whenever their needs arise. We focus on individual student planning and deliver responsive services to help students build the skills and mindset they need to thrive. Whether they're looking toward academic success, career readiness, college planning, or social emotional growth. We also collaborate and consult with a wide range of stakeholders, including school personnel, families, community agencies, and our associate district school counselors. The collaboration allows us to provide consistent support to both half-day and full-day students here. Finally, we lead efforts to advocate for a safe and positive learning environment for all students. We take a student-centered approach in everything we do because every student's success matters here at DACC. And then I think we are going to hear from Holly next.
All right, so our daily schedule here, all of our level 1 labs run from 7:50 in the morning until 10:50 in the morning, with the exception of our zoo school. The level 1 is the opposite schedule. They are a 12:30 to 3, and that's out at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. For our full day students, you take academics right after your lab, and then lunch is a part of that here as well. One thing to note, if you are a full day student, you would have had a Google form sent to you to do your scheduling. And we've gotten a lot of those responses back. But if you have not filled out your form for scheduling, please do so, because we use that to choose your classes. Although there aren't as many options as you may be used to with scheduling at your home school, mostly because all of your elective classes are from your labs. It will have you choose if you want to either take a CCP English or English 11, if you want the CCP government, or if you want regular government. The math is kind of determined from us looking at your transcript. We usually just put you into, we put you into the next math class that you are sequential to take. We do have the CCP pre-calc if you're in Algebra 2 now and doing well and you want to take that. Science is really the choice that you get. We have chemistry, anatomy, and forensics as options. Again, if you're taking one of our medical labs, they might already have an anatomy class associated with that. So we ask you to choose a different science from that anatomy. Our academic space is really that blended model that helps students to kind of thrive in taking some more independent learning, but also having the teacher there. Our teachers are always available to help students, but we kind of do like usually 2 days a week in the classroom and 2 days a week kind of out in that big space. It's a good picture shown over here to the left, kind of how students do some independent learning during the week, as well as like more traditional type classroom. It's a great flexibility. It's really wonderful for students who are self-motivated and want to work independently, but they're never really alone. It's just more of that, like, I'm ready to take some of the ownership of my own learning. Yeah, we work hard to try to connect our academic content with the students' interest in their lab as well. All right, we get a lot of questions about our grading system. We put our report cards up into PowerSchool every quarter, and interims are usually sent home as well. The one thing I do want to mention, we get a lot of questions because most of our associate schools use PowerSchool. It's really important to note that our PowerSchool is different from your homeschool's PowerSchool because we are our own district here. So it's really, really, really important that you sign up for our PowerSchool here at DACC. I know it's a little frustrating to switch back and forth. If you have a kid at Delaware Hayes and you have one here, you do have to kind of toggle back and forth, but it is important that you have the opportunity to see your kids' grades in real time here. So we will post those grades and report cards quarterly, and then at each semester, the official grades are then sent to the students' home schools, and then they are put under their transcripts. really important to also note is that DACC does not have transcripts. Your transcripts will always come from your home school. All of your classes here will be sent to your home school for them to put on the transcript. And you might notice too that the GPAs are a little bit different from DACC to your homeschool because our grading scale is a little bit different. We have it posted up there if you are interested to see what that is. Again, the CCP classes are weighted according to the homeschool policy, and the final GPA is also reported to the homeschools for their grading policy. And then obviously if you're taking the CCP, the grades, you can check those through your student for those as well. All right, some support services here for students. We honor and implement all of our 504 and IEP plans here. For 504 plans, the school counselor that your student is assigned to will manage that 504 plan. And the IEPs, all of our, if your student's on an IEP, they will have an intervention specialist, but they'll also have a transition service provider that they will work with, whether they're half day or they're full day. So that person kind of works with students to make sure their accommodations are being met in the lab as well. And I believe they're already having those transition meetings right now and continuing through the spring to make sure all of those transitions are seamless here and all of the paperwork is set up and ready to go. Our associate schools send us all of their relevant 504 documentation, and it's all housed here in student services. And if anyone is an English language learner, or we have an EL instructor and he provides language support in the lab and making sure that students are getting what they need for that support as well.
All right, so as Holly was just talking about, our transition service providers, or TISPs, are an essential part of our team. Right? They provide targeted support in the career tech labs for students who receive special education services through an IEP and attend DACC as a half-day student. That is the connection with the IEP. That's how we support our half-day students. Our full-day students who are in there also have access to those TISPs as well. So similar to the school counselors, each TISP is assigned to support students in a specific lab. So on your screen, you can see the current lab assignments for our 4 TISPs: Miss Gossett, Miss Noonan, Miss Robinette, and Miss Shoemaker. So having these designations helps to ensure that students receive the consistent and personalized support that is aligned with their individual goals and their needs as well. So in addition to the support that our school counselors and TISPs provide to all DACC students, we are very, very proud to be in our 11th year of offering school-based mental health services right here in the building. So these services are delivered by licensed professionals, and their work is guided by 4 key pillars of programming. So the first pillar is linkage and referral. That's connecting students and families to community-based resources or supports that are based on the individual needs. The second pillar is screening and intervention. So that's helping to identify the presenting concern and determining what the appropriate level of care is, whether that's in the moment or through longer term supports. The third pillar is wellness, and our professionals work with individual students or small groups of students to proactively build skills, right, and promote overall emotional wellness. And then the fourth pillar is collaboration and consultation. So our behavioral health professionals also partner with our school staff, teachers, and to help create and sustain that nurturing and supportive school environment. So overall, our goal is to work in partnership with both students and families, combining that school-based support with strong communication and collaboration. So we really believe that when schools and families work together, students thrive, not just academically, but socially and emotionally as well. So next, Ms. Brown and then Ms. Cox are going to be reviewing graduation requirements and information.
Okay, so we often get questions about how graduation works when students attend DACC, so let's clarify a few important points. First, all students receive their diploma and officially graduate from their home high school, just like their classmates who attend the home high schools full time. They will also participate in their home high school's graduation ceremony, so they'll wear their home school's cap and gown, and they'll be celebrating with their peers. In addition, students who successfully complete their career tech program with us, they will receive a completion certificate. We also host our own DACC completion ceremony at the end of each school year to celebrate the accomplishments of our seniors. And it's a special and it's a meaningful night for the students and the families. Throughout the students' time at DACC, we work closely with each student's homeschool counselor to make sure that they remain on track with all graduation requirements. And then just as a reminder, all courses taken at DACC are added to the student's homeschool transcript. So DACC, we do not issue separate transcripts. All of those credits remain on the official record with their homeschool. And then Mrs. Cox, I think it is your turn to talk about some of the graduation requirements.
Perfect. Okay, so for the graduation requirements, again, as a reminder, these are following your homeschool's graduation requirements. And we work closely with the homeschool counselors to make sure that students are on track with everything that they need for graduation. So there are 3 key components that students need in order to successfully complete their graduation requirements. The first component is course completion, just making sure they have met all the credits and criteria needed within their academic courses. The second is demonstrating competency, which they do through testing in English language arts as well as mathematics. And I'll get into that a little bit more in the next couple slides here about other options if they don't meet that. And then third and finally, they need to demonstrate readiness through seals. So students have an opportunity to earn numerous seals, and they have to complete at least 2 seals in order to demonstrate readiness for graduation. Okay, diving a little deeper into the graduation requirements. The first one is completing their courses. So successfully completing their academic requirements set forth by the homeschool district. Again, we follow each homeschool's district with what students need. The minimum state requirements that students must complete is 20. However, many of our schools have additional credit requirements that students may need to complete as well. So again, just making sure that you know what your homeschool's requirements are for graduations is important. And we as well track that here for our full day students to make sure that they have what they need to successfully complete the requirements needed. Again, students now also have to take instruction in economics or financial literacy and complete at least 2 semesters of fine arts. However, that fine arts requirement is often waived for students in career tech programs. That is something that you definitely want to check with your homeschool to see if that is the case, but many of our schools will waive that fine arts requirement if they have not met it yet through their career tech program. The second piece of demonstrating competency, this is achieved through successfully passing an Ohio State test for Algebra 1 for the math competency, as well as ELA 2, which is English Language Arts 2, which is they typically take as a 10th grade student. They will have state tests that they take after completing both of those courses, and that is how they determine if a student has met their competency score needed. A passing score is a 684, and so students have at least 2 opportunities to take that and pass. If they have retaken it at least twice and still have not met that 684 score, Then you can see below that there are 4 additional pathways that students can choose in order to show and demonstrate competency. The first one, they can demonstrate those through some career-focused activities, which would be things that they would be doing here at DACC. Students have to earn at least 1 in the foundational area and 1 in the supporting, or they can earn 2 in foundational. So some of those include a score of a 3 or higher on a web exam, which is like an end of course test they'll take for their lab, earning a 12-point credential, apprenticeship programs, as well as state issued license requiring an exam. Some of the supporting activities that they can achieve are 250 work-based learning hours, which is an opportunity that students have through DACC. That is not an automatic. Students do have to get out and be approved in a job that is related to their lab. And then if they earn 250 hours within that job during their time at DACC, that would help for one of the supporting activities. They can earn a score on their work keys test or the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness Seal, which we'll talk about a little bit more here in a little bit. 2 other options are the College Credit Plus, so taking some of the college credit classes that we offer here, as well as a remediation-free score on their ACT or SAT. And then finally, military enlistment is another way that a student can have an additional way to earn competency by enlisting in the military upon graduation. And then the third and final thing that students need to complete for graduation requirements is earning a seal. You can see here listed that there are 12 seals that students have the opportunity to earn. Students have to earn at least 2 of those seals for graduation purposes. So they can earn more, but they have to earn at least 2. There are some that Mr. Wood will talk about next that we help here at DACC, and there are other local ones that they would earn, like a student engagement seal potentially by participating in sports or other activities and clubs that they have done at their home school. So there is 12 different pathways that students can follow to earn these seals, and they need to earn at least 2 of those for graduation purposes.
Okay, so moving on to get a little bit more specific on the graduation seals and things that we work directly with your students here at DACC. You'll see 5 of those here. The industry recognized credential seal, those are based on the 12-point credentials that your students will be working through in their labs. This is varies a lot between coursework and when they're done throughout junior and or senior year. So a lot of times this is completed not till close to the very end of the senior year. But it's a nice way to show that what they have learned, and these credentials are what we want them to earn so that they can utilize those post-graduation on their resume and into their career. The next seal, the technology seal, that seal is a seal that's for 5 of our programs: digital design, cyber, app development, engineering, and robotics. And that seal is showing that they were in a technology-related program, and that has some additional requirements and capstones or projects that show what they did and that it's technology-related. The next seal, the Ohio Means Job Readiness Seal. Some of your students possibly may have already earned that seal if they've completed the form. Ms. Cox is going to put that form on the chat for you. So if you want your student to go ahead and start that, this is something that we work with our juniors and our seniors to have all students complete if possible, if they can meet that requirement. It's like I said, you'll be able to see that more on the link that Ms. Cox is posting, but it's a great thing for possibly some of your students to do right now or over the summer if they have a job already. It's a seal that they could start working on currently and follow the steps to do that. If they have any questions on the Ohio Means Job Seal, they can ask their current school counselor at their home school for more information or support on completing that. The student engagement seal. This is another seal that basically all of our students get here at DACC. If they're a 2-year student here, if they're in one of our 2-year programs, they're part of a CTSO program. And those programs are such as Business Professionals, HOSA, Skills USA, or FFA. Those memberships and participation in those programs allow them to get a student engagement seal. And then finally, we have the Ohio Honors Seal, and specifically the Career Tech Honors Diploma Seal. And that seal is a seal that students earn by completing the requirements set forth by the state of Ohio for any of the honor seals. Those are set forth by the state, not by local districts. And we're going to put a link to that as well if that's something that your student, if they're excelling, if they're keeping up a high GPA, completing a lot of their extra requirements, doing the foreign languages, various things that would be part of that honors diploma. That's something they should know about and be looking to see if they're going to meet that criteria. And it's also a goal. It can help students, if they look at those requirements, it can help them try to reach that and achieve higher. So it's definitely a good seal to be pushing for all students. So these are the ones that we specifically target here at DACC, and we work with the homeschools and give them the information to get that put onto the student's transcript and work as a team on. So now moving on to one of the most probably complicated parts of this is College Credit Plus for those students that are interested in doing that. And the reason it's a little more complicated right now is because the students are not here in our building. So we're working with you guys all on this virtually to try to make sure your students that signed up for College Credit Plus through our Google form that you requested classes, we'll be working with you to make sure that your student is qualified and prepared for a College Credit Plus class. So just before I get into this information, next week I'll be sending out information to students and their parents that have requested a College Credit Plus class, and to have them start meeting those requirements and making sure I have that information to show that you've met that requirement and that we can make sure that we set up your classes that you've requested for next year, because these are college classes. We do not we have them in our school building, a lot of these classes, but they're run through the college. So we don't see all that information directly when they apply, and other information about paperwork that they've turned in and so forth. So bear with me and the team here as we ask for information to make sure your students qualified for that. So you're going to see some of those qualifications here. Generally speaking, students have to have a 3.0. They can use ACT and SAT scores to qualify. Also, placement testing can be used if a student does not have that 3.0. Along with that, placement, some of our programs starting this year, such as the University of Findlay, who helps us with our math classes, are going to be requiring a placement test for all students that they require to do that. I'm not going to give you much more information about that placement test at the moment. That'll be in future emails for students that are trying to take like the College Credit Plus college algebra and trigonometry, basically that pre-calculus series on the CCP, but that'll be some more information to come as we go forward. So you see, as we go through these requirements, that intent to participate, that was part of the Google form that you completed. As far as the application process to our partner schools, again, we work with the University of Findlay and Columbus State Community College. So as far as Columbus State goes, we need students that are requesting to take classes such as that English 1100 and Political Science 1100. You must complete the application for Columbus State to take those courses. And that is pretty easy to find on their website. I will be sending links for that as well. If you've already completed the application, terrific. If you haven't, that's something that your student needs to go ahead and do. And again, I will be sending out information just to help facilitate that is completed in a timely manner. It's a pretty easy application, but it's something that needs to get done. And there's multiple applications on their website. So as a student goes to that website, they need to complete the one that says College Credit Plus. And again, I will send details on that here next week. There's going to be some additional paperwork after that as well. That once the application is complete, that we'll be asking for you and your students to do, so students can actually get into the class. Again, these are the requirements of each of the university partners that we work with. They're not our requirements, so we have to follow the rules of those universities to make sure that everybody has what they need. You see the courses that we offer for College Credit Plus. This is also on our website. If you have any questions about things, make sure you're checking there first. That has quite a bit of what I'm talking about here, but also it's maybe some additional things as well. And as we get to this next spot here, additional College Credit Plus courses, remember, students, as you guys already know, parents already know likely that are knowledgeable about this, their students can take additional courses beyond what we offer here at the Career Center. If you're a full day student, we help your student handle that starting in August. So if a student is taking a summer class coming up this summer, they're going to still work with their homeschool counselor to register for that class. That all happens through their current homeschool. If they're a full day student starting in August, that'll be done with their school counselor here at DACC, and we help support that once they're officially full day students here at the Career Center. I will say, if a student is taking a summer class, it's really important that when they come back in August, that we know that they took a summer class, because we're responsible to know how many credit hours a student is taking. And some of those students that are really taking a lot of college classes we don't want them to go over their 30 max credit hours if they don't want to do self-pay. So we'll need to know that they're taking that course so that we can help plan properly for the school year, that they don't go over that max credit hour for them. That doesn't happen to a lot of students, but students that are taking a lot of CCP classes, that can happen with. So please just work with us on that. Again, I will be sending out details to every student and their parent that has signed up to take a college class to make sure they know the steps that are required for them for each course, and that they can complete that. You can always reach out to us with questions, or the student's current homeschool counselor, and we can get that all resolved. Again, additional resources on our DACC College Credit Plus webpage. And then moving on to the next thing, in a very different realm here, moving on to things related more towards after high school. So these are credits that, when we're talking about CTAG and articulation agreements, credits that students can get for after high school. So the two ways your student may earn college credit through their career tech program are called articulation agreements and CTAGs, or career technical assurance guides. Articulation agreements provide a seamless way for from high school into college programs, whether it's in an associate's degree, certification, or even an apprenticeship. DACC has partnerships with several institutions, some being Columbus State, Hocking College, Marian Tech, COTC, and UNO. To be eligible for these credits, students must earn a C or higher in their career tech courses at the semester and apply to the college and meet the entrance requirements, which may include placement testing. Deadlines vary depending on schools. For example, Columbus State requires the application within 18 months after graduation. Hocking College requires that within 1 year after graduation. This is important, but most important to know is that we help and assist the students to do this before they graduate. So the goal is for this type of form isn't needed to be done later after high school, but that is done prior to them being completed their senior year if they want to use their articulation agreement at the college that they're attending. So moving on to CTEGs now, those are career assurance, technical assurance guides. They work a little differently. CTEG credit allows students to transfer credit to any public college or university in Ohio that offers the same type of course. To earn CTEG credit, students must earn a C or higher in their course at the semester. They must pass the aligned web exams, which is the end of course assessment. And that's something that'll be occurring at the end of each semester for the courses that they're enrolled in for their program, and then submit the required information within the college's required deadline after high school graduation. Both of these opportunities are great ways for students to save time and money as they continue their education after high school. And final thing with this part is just really understanding that these are college related things as well. We work on to support the students to get what they need and to meet those requirements here. But when they go to the college handles the actual credit. That does not have anything to do with the Career Center. So they have to work with the college that they end up attending to make sure that that goes on their transcript at college and that they get what they have earned. So, and that's something that is this whole thing may be a little bit not fully understandable right now since the students aren't in the program. So just bear with us. And then over the next couple of years, as your students are applying to college and ready to move on to their next steps, they will get more information and have it all set up for them.
Okay. So that brings us to the end of our presentation. We want to thank you so much for joining us today. As we wrap up, though, please take this opportunity to drop any remaining questions that you may have into the chat, and we'll do our best to respond before we close out. But remember, we are just an email away if something comes up later. So you can see the names and email addresses for each of us on the screen. Additionally, this will be available to everyone on the website, this presentation. And don't hesitate to reach out. We are always here to help. We know that career tech is a little bit of a different beast. And so, you know, you might have some unique questions that they may not be available to answer at your home high school. But again, you know, we're here to support you, partner with them to make sure that we meet all of your students' needs. So certainly, please know, you know, we are really looking forward to seeing you. We've got an upcoming acceptance night on Thursday, April 23rd. So if you have not seen the communication for that, please look out. So that's a great opportunity for you to take advantage of, to come in, see the building again, meet your lab instructor, and you're going to have a little bit of a more tailored presentation to learn about the year ahead, and get even more excited about your future at DACC. So, you know, most of all, what we want you to take away from this is that you are not just joining a school. You are becoming part of our DACC family. And we want to welcome you. So please know we're very excited to have you. We know that this is a new and interesting thing for students, and we're going to work to provide great opportunities for you. So let's take a look real quick before we close out to see if there are any additional questions in the chat. I don't know if anything has popped up or if we've been able to answer everything that has come through to us.
And if you learned something today, if you want to give us a thumbs up so we see that you got something that you needed today, that would be great as well. We're excited to have you.
I think I saw something just pop up about half day, but since I'm presenting, I can't see all of it.
Yes. Somebody asked, is there a place for the curriculum specifically for the biotech program? I would say you'll be getting more information if you are able to attend the acceptance night. At that time, you'd be able to meet with Mr. Dyer, who's the instructor of that program, and he would be able to, help assist and answer any questions that you have, as well as go over the content that they would be covering for the upcoming year. So I would start with the teacher and specifically the acceptance night on April 23rd.
There was a question about the half-day labs, and so the PM labs are for our seniors mostly. The only time that a kid would be in a PM lab would be either if they were in a zoo school or if you specifically applied for the pharmacy tech PM lab. The schedule we went over is all of our morning labs are 7:50 in the morning to 10:50 in the morning. So that's your kid's schedule if they're half day here.
So we also have, starting next year, we are moving 2 other senior only options during the PM lab time as well. And that's our healthcare technician, CNA, and our nail technician, our nail technician program. I think, I didn't see the full question, but I thought there was something that was asked about if they were after school. We are sunsetting our after school programs, if that was related to your question. So we do have those 2 senior only programs offered. Those are in the PM, not in the AM, like one of the pharmacy's technicians labs are, but we do not have any after school programs.
There's another question. They took some ceramics for first semester. Can welding waive the other semester of art?
Yeah, I just sent a response to that one. Yes, most of the homeschools waive the art requirement for students that attend DACC. We just tell all students to talk to their homeschool counselor about that to make sure they're in that situation. But yes, typically.
There's a question about the ALE and how many days does a student get off. We get a lot of questions on attendance, and I feel like I'm not the most qualified to answer that because I don't think we have a certain, like we don't have ALEs necessarily here.
We have prearranged absence forms
That's
here,
what we call it, yes.
which would be similar to the ALE forms. I don't know if there's a specific set number that a student can take off. However, we do encourage attendance and obviously students being here as much as possible because they're missing any day that they miss, they're missing 3 hours of lab, which is a lot of information, especially at that beginning of the year in those first 10 days. I mean, they're covering a ton of information, in those first 10 days and going over safety information for labs and all of those things, as well as moving forward. 3 hours is a big chunk for one class to miss. And we're preparing students to be ready to go into the world of work if that's what they choose after or attend college or whatever those will be. So we do place a high importance on attendance. So just working with your student's teacher, if they are going to be out, we do have the prearranged absence forms, which are similar to the ALE forms that students can complete. So I guess just making us aware, reaching out if you know that there's a time period that the student's going to be out, so that everybody's in the loop and can get you the work that's needed while your student's out.
So next week, I believe it's when, next week, I don't want to say the wrong date, but there is there's another virtual information session for the principals, excuse me. And I believe that they touch a little bit on attendance as well. So we do have the principal who oversees attendance. She will be participating in that meeting. So if you have some specific questions, certainly you can reach out to us, but then also they may answer that if you are scheduled to attend that virtual meeting next week.
And that is Wednesday, April 15th at 11:30.
Thank you. I didn't want to give anybody the wrong date and time for that. Okay, I think if we don't have any additional questions at this time, we will go ahead and wrap this up. Again, thanks so much for being here with us. We truly appreciate you taking this time. We hope we've answered a lot of your questions. We've probably, generated more questions for you, but you have contact information. Please feel free to reach out. We are certainly here to help. And again, thank you for your time. And we cannot wait to officially welcome you this fall.
Thank you. I'll see you all in a few weeks at acceptance.
A couple incoming questions that just came through that I'll keep answering while people are logging off. Content for Wednesday different from today? Yes, it is. It's their principal meeting, so they'll be going over transportation, attendance, some setup, some of the practices here at DACC. So it will be different content than what was shared today. And then our first day of school for 26-27.
It's August.
I have it up.
August 17th.
Yes.
Yes, it's a Monday, August 17th.
We have scheduled pickup on the 11th.
11th.
But all of that information will be sent out and communicated with you. So look for those emails for all that email communication. All right. So thank you very much. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.